Deep in America's South is a golf club barely 15 years old, but with a history almost as illustrious as its near neighbour Augusta National. While Champions Retreat may not host the Masters, it has an attachment to three masterful golfers forever associated with Augusta. And it's this connection that makes Champions Retreat a one-of-a-kind.
We're the only golf club in the world that's designed with Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Gary Player. It's the first time the three of them have collaborated on one property, do a project together. It all started back in 1999 at the Champions Dinner at the Masters, and Gary had wrote numbers on the back of 3 index cards, and basically Mr. Nicklaus had won the most majors, so Gary allowed him to pick first. He chose the Bluff property to our left. Mr. Palmer, he went second because he was the oldest, so he chose the island, and then Gary naturally chose the creek course. And all three of them are just wonderful pieces of property, very different in topography and design, but extremely unique and just a wonderful setting for golf here in the Southeast.
Champions Retreat is sculpted out of nearly 1,200 acres of Georgia pine and wetlands that run along the Great Savannah River. And with three of the biggest names in golf as designers, it seemed only fair to task them with 9 holes each.
All three of the 9s are really unique in their design features as well as the topography and the natural surroundings of the property. The island course has the Savannah River, which 6 of the holes play out on an island in the middle of the Savannah River. Then the creek course, Mr. Player's course, plays around a huge wetland called Uchee Creek, so the first 4 holes wrap around that, and then it goes up into the interior part of the property with a lot of elevation. And then the Bluff course, Mr. Nicklaus's course, really has a lot of topo change, similar to what you'd see at Augusta National with all the undulation in the fairways and elevation changes. It's really just a great, unique, and it can be very challenging, but also very enjoyable for a less avid player.
So, with 27 holes to experience, we first sampled Jack Nicklaus's Bluff course.
The distinctive feature about the Nicklaus course is obviously the elevation change, but you have to work the ball on every shot, either right or left. It's a great shot maker's course. So first hole that comes to mind is number 2. It's a par 3, about 186 yards from the back tees or the championship tees. It's got a double crown green front and back, and then 2 bunkers placed to the right and to the left. It's just a very framed, picturesque par 3. The next hole would be number 5, the par 5, which is a very elevated tee box and a dogleg left to an uphill green. Just a great, great hole as well. And probably my favorite hole is number 7 on the Bluff, which is a elevated tee box about 465 yards from the championship tees. It's a dogleg right with a bunker guarding the right side of the fairway. There's a big oak tree, and the green just sits up on a hillside there, and it's just a wonderful golf hole.
The second of the 3 9s at Champions Retreat is designed by the South African designer, Gary Player.
Probably our members' most enjoyed course. The 3rd hole is a beautiful dogleg left, a big bunker down the left-hand side, but it's just, the green is surrounded by a natural forest and a creek to your left, and then a bunch of hardwoods behind the green, so it really frames the hole nicely. The 5th hole, par 5, creek runs down the center of the fairway, similar to what you might see at number 13 at Augusta National, and it's just a beautiful home framed with hardwoods in the background. And then one of my favorite holes out here is number 9 on the creek course. It's a 470-yard par 4, water down the right-hand side, beautiful big oak tree guards the right-hand side, and then you have bunkers on the left, and then just a little tiny green where your second shot is probably going to be a mid-iron into with the water on the right, and then you have the cottages surrounding the left side. So it really encompasses all that Champions Retreat is in a lot of ways. It's a beautiful golf hole.
Gary Player's legacy at Champions Retreat isn't just as a designer.
It's not a surprise to see him up on the practice tee at around 6 o'clock at night, and he'll go out and hit balls, just load his club, take his clubs off the golf cart, put it down right between 2 guys he's never met before, and then start hitting balls. And the next thing you know, one of the guys looks up and says, "Hey, is that really Gary Player?" And, Gary says, "How you doing, son? Nice to meet you."
The final 9-hole course to experience at Champions Retreat is the Island course, designed by Arnold Palmer.
The island property itself is relatively flat because it's closest to the Savannah River. I would say that the most beautiful hole out of probably the whole 27 holes may be the 4th hole out there with the Savannah River in the background, and there's an old railroad trestle and a gigantic cherry bark oak tree that's in the middle of the fairway that's probably 130, 40 years old. and it's just a magnificent golf hole. My other favorite hole is probably number 5 on the island course. It's a par 4, slightly dogleg left, and it runs alongside the Savannah River with a quite small green with a big bunker guard in the front of it.
Having 3 legends of the game design the 27 holes at Champions Retreat sets this property apart from anywhere else in the world, but the club itself has plenty of Georgian charm.
The whole feel and vibe with Champions Retreat is just really relaxing, welcoming. You've got all these big porches on all the buildings that really invite you to come outside and rock in a rocking chair, have a glass of lemonade or iced tea or whatever your beverage of choice is, and just have conversations and talk about golf or your stay or just being here in Augusta. So it's a wonderful environment. Our membership is mostly national, and we do have purchase options for what we call corporate golf cottages and bungalows that are available for purchase for either individuals or corporations that wish to have a place where they can entertain their best clients and obviously bring their friends and best clients in for Masters Week.
With genuine Deep South golfing hospitality and a chance to play the only course in the world designed by Nicklaus, Palmer and Player, the reasons to visit Champions Retreat are endless.
World-class golf, full-service accommodations, lodging, transportation, food and beverage, all in a very southern, intimate environment. We are a national or international private golf retreat with the 3 greatest names in golf that cater to corporate America and individuals seeking a world-class golf experience.